Good morning. My name is Boyd Johnson. My journey to the Master's Seminary and the pursuit of vocational ministry really began in 1999, about 3 years after I was saved while I was still an undergrad at the University of Missouri. I was having coffee with my pastor, and I told him that I was considering either going to law school or getting an MBA. The business school at Missouri was a 2-year program. Law school was a 3-year program, but they had a special program that if you did both at the same time, it would be 4. And my pastor was ready to plant a church in the heart of the campus at Missouri. And during that coffee, he said, "I'd really like to bring you on staff with this church plant and have you here for as long as possible. So why don't you do both law school and business school?" And so that's what I did. And the Lord used those 4 years and the opportunities I was given to teach and also to help lead that church plant to plant in me a desire to pastor and to shepherd God's people. I also felt, though, that it was important for me to confirm my calling by spending some time working for a while outside of ministry. So I graduated, got married, moved to Minneapolis to attend a certain church there, and became a lawyer. And I was a lawyer there for about 5 years, and I really enjoyed it. It was something I really enjoyed doing and worked real hard at. But I still continue to feel a burden in my heart to preach and to pastor God's people, and that was being confirmed by people that I was ministering to. So we decided it was time to go to seminary. When I made that choice, there were many people who thought I was foolish to give up my law practice in order to become, of all things, a pastor. And it would have been foolish, except that I've been called to the ministry of the gospel. And I know you men here understand that too. And we understand that the wisdom of God is greater than, the foolishness of God is greater than the wisdom of man. And so when I decided to go to seminary, there was really only one place. I used to have breakfast with John MacArthur 5 days a week. He was on the radio and I'd eat my breakfast. And I wanted to do what he did. And so when it's time to pull the trigger to go to seminary, there was only one place to go. And so we moved in late 2009. I started in the spring of 2010, roughly 10 years after I had that coffee with my pastor. As I reflect on the goodness and the grace of God to me and my family while we've been here at seminary, a lot of things come to mind that I could share. But to select one, the goodness and grace of God to me has been shown in the way He's met our needs. We've had a lot of needs since we've come to seminary. And the verse that I've continually come back to throughout seminary is Philippians 4:19, "And my God will supply every need of yours according to His riches and glory in Christ Jesus." I love that verse. I love the certainty of that verse. Will supply. I love the sweep of that verse. Every need. I love the ground of that verse. The riches in glory in Christ Jesus. Man, it doesn't get any better than that. I was reviewing a prayer log I kept during my first semester of seminary this morning. And during finals week I wrote, "Because it's finals week, I spent a lot of time praying through assignments for strength and for balance and priorities and for my attitude. I was encouraged that God answered a lot of prayers this week in ways better than I had envisioned." And that's been my experience at the end of the 3 years through seminary. God's met my needs, and He's answered my prayers in ways better than I had ever envisioned. As far as future plans, for a while now, my wife and I have been considering and dreaming about planting a church that plants churches in college towns around the world. At the end of May, we'll be taking a trip to Athens, Georgia, home of the University of Georgia. It's about an hour and a half outside of Atlanta, to determine whether the Lord would have us plant there. And we're really open to wherever the Lord would have us go, whether Athens or pastoring somewhere else, where there are opportunities, and we're eager to see where He directs our paths. But we would appreciate your prayers, and we are confident that the Lord will grant us wisdom and go with us as we seek His will. Thank you.